up? It's Donnie Crossroads. Welcome to Unknown for the Most Likely. This is a special edition of Unknown for the Most Likely, our second last episode until second season. We have Mr. Tim Burkland of Takashita, one of his greatest harsh noise project. His Instagram name is Imploding Sounds. Today we're going to be talking about basically the good old stuff, and we're also going to be talking about the wrestling compilation that is going to be coming out this year, the second one, and we're going to be expecting 80 people on this one. Yes, you heard me, 80. So, if you have guys want to freaking, submit a track for this next compilation, this noise compilation, message me on my Instagram, or if you have me on Facebook. Yeah. Anyways, we got Mr. Here he is. How's it going, brother?
I was going to use my earbuds, but apparently they're not working. So,
how's it going today?
Oh, good. Just working, sort of.
Yeah. I see you have a really cool, fast lifestyle with when you go from work and then you go to the wrestling events, and it's like I think it's to keep your mind busy kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. I'm best when I keep myself occupied with things. So, kind of a multitasker, like when I'm working. Like I was just getting caught up on New Japan while I was working. I didn't realize I got 4 shows behind. So yeah, I got 2 of those watched while getting paid.
Yeah, you probably watched a lot of wrestling growing up.
What?
You probably watched a lot of wrestling growing up and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm old, so I started watching wrestling between WrestleMania 1 and 2 when I was 7, and then I went to WrestleMania 3 in Michigan, because that's where I'm from.
Okay.
So my dad took me and my sister to go see Hulk Hogan body slam Andre the Giant when he weighed 700 pounds in front of 150,000 people, as Hulk Hogan would say.
No, that's sick. That's sick.
Yeah, those numbers are a little exaggerated.
No, I remember. I kind of only remember just watching, stuff in the Attitude Era, and then always getting re-educated about the olden days of wrestling, and all I knew is just Hulk Hogan was also a roid rager too. So
yeah, the Attitude Era, that was in my early 20s, so that was kind of peak. I went to everything that I could possibly go to. I was at every Raw, every SmackDown, and pay-per-view that was in my area. I lived in Arizona at that time, so if there was shit in Vegas, we'd drive up to Vegas and party there. I'm dubbing tapes at the same time too. Like I said, just finished that over.
So within the wrestling and stuff, where did you find the wrestling and the music noise connection?
I think it was so in the early 2000s when I still lived early to mid 2000s, I lived in Arizona. I sang in a grindcore band called Schlitzkrieg. That was all the shit was about wrestling.
Okay.
So I liked using that as a topic for stuff. So when I started doing noise, I was just like, oh well, it could it'd be something cool to go wrestling wise. So DDT, Japanese wrestling, seemed like the most fun one to connect with noise.
Mm-hmm.
Since the first noise I ever listened to was Japanese stuff, so
yeah,
like a good connection.
Yeah, there's a lot of good wrestling type connected stuff with the Japanese stuff. I think I was seeing a lot of that, but also I kind of got it with the power violence and all that grindcore also.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, I was really into Spaz and all those guys back in the day. Well, still am, but
there's not a lot of wrestling theme type of stuff. But if there's anything out there that is wrestling theme, the music that you think that is good or bad, you should name one at least.
There isn't really that much anymore. I miss the Ultimate Warriors. They were great. But for noise, there's Slit Throats does a lot of Japanese female wrestling Joshi related releases and stuff. So yeah, I'd go with Slit Throats. Roman's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Oh yeah, when I started noticing your music and stuff, and I really started seeing like the enjoyment of you guys loving wrestling and stuff, and the independent people too, and also people like who are so hardcore. GCW too, like I really love that. Like you see, I have the biggest appreciation for GCW. Nick Gage, shout out, Nick, MDK, all fucking day. How it is.
Yeah, he's going to be here for our local indie Defy Wrestling. He's coming for the May 13th show. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, yep, got to buy a ticket right now.
Oh, hell yeah, hell yeah.
I'll get to be there. I'll be posting videos of him on that day.
So, where did Takashita come in, and where did that start?
Let's see. So that started in like 2018, I think no, that's too far back. Maybe I don't know. 2019.
Okay.
Was when I started doing that project. Yeah, he was just my favorite guy on DDT at the time, as far as like good wrestlers go. They have a lot of comedy guys and stuff too, but
yeah,
he was my favorite quality wrestler. And well, now he's on AEW, so I'm hoping that my fame and his fame, I can ride his coattails.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of funny when that happened. It was like, oh no, everybody's gonna think I just picked an AEW guy. But it goes back to before that. So
yeah, AEW is sometimes a weird mixture of either good or bad, stuff.
Yeah,
I feel that's why people don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah,
I think they're doing really good shit. I mean, especially WWE has gotten better lately, but like for the few years before, like last year, before Vince got in all his trouble, it was getting real. I mean, I'm a wrestling addict, so I'll still watch no matter what, just 'cause I can't stop. But it was hard. I mean, like those shows were just difficult to sit through. Like Monday Night Raw is just like a chore. I actually got to go. I went to Monday Night Raw a couple weeks ago for my birthday because my sister bought me a ticket, and oh my god, it was so long. It was like it's even worse in person because like at least at home I can watch it, like after it's already started and then fast forward through all those commercial breaks. But what they do during the commercial breaks though is the saddest thing ever. They do like the old school like the kiss cam, where like they film people in the crowd, but instead of kissing they do like the DX crotch chop cam. So everybody's just in the crowd like like crotch chopping like crazy and hoping to get on the big screen. And there's like little kids doing it and shit, and then they do the Undertaker cam, and everybody's just like going holding their hand up to their face, and it's just oh man, it's like the Attitude Era was like 30 years ago, man. Like
it's gone, it's done.
Yeah,
oh.
you gotta like come up with something new. Like that's at least with AEW, they're like trying to cater to newer audiences, and have to their tastes and not just try to relive the past. But.
Yeah, you're probably like one of the rest of us where we're just like the wrestling, not the fucking entertainment aspect.
Yeah, like that's what I love about watching Japanese wrestling is it's like there's not really storylines. It's like I don't like you, you don't like me, we're gonna fight. I mean that's what wrestling. You don't need all that extra thing. It's like. Yeah, that's same with like watching GCW. It's like everybody hates Matt Cardona. That's like the one storyline in GCW.
Yeah, everybody's waiting for Cardona to like actually break back into the mainstream and actually be our Matt Cardona
right
in WWE. And I just feel like it's just too soon.
We don't need Zack Ryder again.
We don't need Zack Ryder again. Matt Cardona all the way.
I like King of the Indies, Matt Cardona with his Indiana Jones outfit.
Yeah, he's the greatest fucking heel in the Indies right now.
Definitely.
And oh man, imagine him like running back into some old like AEW people, going back to WWE. It would be really, really awkward though, just seeing that, seeing how that plays out and how many walls they break there.
Definitely.
Yeah. Do you believe that? this is a weird, just random, just wrestling question. Do you think MJF is actually going to leave AEW?
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, he's hard to read because like he doesn't ever break character. He's just always MJF, which I love. I mean, I wish more guys would be like that because I don't care about their real life.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather them just be their character all the time. But it could just be all a thing to get heat, and he plans on staying, or
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is with like, it always used to be like, well, they'll go to WWE because they'll get paid more, but that's not really the case anymore. Like, I think Tony Khan pays a lot of those guys better
Oh, that's kind
than
of
what
sounds better. Yeah,
you
it's
know.
true.
So I mean, like, I think he would probably shell out a lot of money to keep him there. So, but at the same time, I'm sure every wrestler's dream is to eventually at least be at WrestleMania at some point.
Everybody wants to go to WrestleMania, but not
Yeah,
everybody.
you got to have the WrestleMania moment at some point in your career. I think of what they all
Yeah.
feel like. But I mean, he's a young guy, so he could probably, maybe he'll bounce back and forth like some of the didn't Jeff Jarrett go like WWF, WCW, WWF, back to WCW, back? So yeah, they can bounce around.
Is there any kind of top wrestling topics you have used in some of your noise material, your music material?
No, I don't think so. I feel like have covered I feel like I'm starting to I'm worried I'm gonna run out of shit to name tracks after.
Is there all? Do you think they're all taken?
I mean, at this point, I may have reused stuff and not remembered. I should probably start doing a search on my hard drive before I name stuff to make sure I'm not using the same song title twice. But
I think though I don't know what's overused. I think a Ric Flair or um or anything like Stone Cold Steve Austin related, I think would be it's overdone and overused a lot in in the band names and or noise names or whatever. But then again, it's just I feel like it should just be a free fucking world, in my opinion. But I don't know. People like to be original.
somebody needs to make a song about Ric Flair's weed cannon. I don't know if you follow him on
Oh,
Instagram. He's spraying weed smoke all over everybody in his shiny bedazzled suits now. It's
yeah. I think
he's
we need. I think we need. I don't know. For the compilation coming out, the second. I think we have so many options, and I think it was so great. Everybody did every single situation. I was thinking about more situations. I was thinking about the Edge and Lita fucking sex scene in bed, whatever, or something. If someone did that, I would love that, to death, and it would just be cool.
what was it called? The I forget what the name of it was. The live sex.
Oh,
But yeah, I remember that segment. That was a great segment.
oh,
Did they just reuse Shawn Michaels' heart-shaped bed from when he used to interview people in the early '90s in that
yeah,
thing?
that should
The
be
Shawn,
cool.
yeah, it was probably the same heart-shaped bed. Never thought about that until this exact moment in my life. But yeah, it's amazing what comes to you during interviews. But yeah, I got to do a track for that comp.
Yeah, did you did that ECW character. I forgot but it was that Amish wrestler.
Roadkill.
Roadkill. Yeah. Yeah, and
Is there a theme for this one, or is it just anything?
oh no. Anything is pretty much anything. It's not just ECW. I was that was last time everybody was there's a lot of ECW people who actually sent ECW types and shit. And then it got random because just everybody else wanted different topics or different wrestling companies to be talked about and stuff. So I was thinking,
Impossible.
yeah. So is there any other artists out there who are actually wrestling related artists you've worked with or noise artists?
Let's see. I'm trying I think of. I know there's got to be some other guys that I talked to wrestling about. Well, what was the cool thing was I did a split with Makawa from the Incapacitants. He's a huge wrestling fan,
Okay.
and that was mostly what we talked about on Facebook Messenger when we were doing the split. Was we just kept talking about wrestling, like what was going on in New Japan at the time, and he was telling me all the wrestlers he liked, and we were going back and forth about that, and that was the most fun part of doing that, learning that he was a giant wrestling fan.
Yeah, it's fucking. I remember. I've watched some like old wrestling and such. I think I watched. Fuck. It was like Ric Flair and what's that fucker's name? I don't know. He has a daughter that's in an Impact right now. Uh, I don't know. He was a manager, I guess, in AEW for. He used to be for FTR, I
Oh,
think.
Tully Blanchard.
Yeah, Tully Blanchard. I seen that match, and it was just like fucking ultra bloody, and it was like so crazy. I think it was like um nine tongues or something like that, or jaw. Yeah, whatever. I have that memory right now. I told me about that to watch that, and I think it was also my band member told me about that. So, um, but yeah,
I listened
you're.
to your guys' demo today to prepare for this. I
Oh,
liked it.
really?
Yeah, yeah, it was good.
Oh, fucking thank you. I appreciate it. Are you a Sue Young fan at all?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sue Young. I think there's an old split, one of the first Takeshita releases that she's the artwork for.
Yeah, yeah. My buddy had the idea of just using that like her move set for like the title, and I was just like really enthralled with the idea. The sample on top of it was, I think it was the most gory match where she took a chunk out of a bitch's the blonde bitch or something like that. And I feel like it was a little disturbing. First, and it wasn't, of course, it wasn't for the squeamish, but that's deathmatch wrestling shit.
Yep, you got to be prepared to lose chunks of whatever.
Have you been to a deathmatch wrestling show at all?
No, that's one I have to check off my list. I did go to an ECW pay-per-view in 2000.
Oh, hell yeah.
That was ridiculous. It was Heatwave 2000. It was the one where the XPW guys invaded at the end and caused a riot out in the streets,
Holy
which was real.
shit.
That really happened. Yeah. We were like, what the fuck's going on? So we were going to go hit up the merch table at the end of the show, but like everybody was booking it out of the little venue that it was at, and we get outside and heard a bunch of cop cars coming and stuff. And that was my younger days when I still drank, and we got out of there real fast because I didn't want to get stuck there.
Yeah, well, holy shit. Yeah, ECW was like really outlawed type shit. They had to be very careful. It was just like a lot of punk shows usually. Um, so yeah, like that's a crazy, like probably experience, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Childhood, but yeah, it was great. I'm glad I got to go to a real ECW show while it still existed
yeah,
the one time on the West Coast.
yeah, just like starting with like watching something on TV and then going to it live. It's just like it feels great, especially with ECW too. I had to rewatch a lot of ECW stuff because I'm a big fan of all of it. Sadman. I think everybody mostly in that company, like whatever. And the only ones I feel like I can't fuck with is I don't know who else. I just like everybody in ECW is cool, and now AEW is just like trying to say like they're the new ECW. It's like there's worse out there.
Yeah, EW is more like WCW.
Yeah, yeah,
GCW would be much more the new ECW.
yeah, yeah. So I feel like I don't ever ask this question enough to wrestling fans, but are you a heel person? Are you a heel fan, or are you more of a baby face?
No, I'm totally a heel person. Always have been. Like when I was a kid. Like I was into Hulkamania for a while and the
Mm.
Ultimate Warrior, and then like all of a sudden there was a change when Mr. Perfect debuted, and
Oh yeah.
he was doing those vignettes so where like he would like throw a basketball over his shoulder and make like a full court shot, and like was just showing that he was better at any sport than anybody. And I was like, this guy's the coolest guy. And like from there it was just like Rick Rude, and yeah, and it just fully I just became like always into all the heel guys. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean when I go to wrestling live too, I always just root for the heels, which a long time ago it was like a rare thing. Now it's like half the arena does it, um, but yeah, it's still definitely to me heel characters are just way more enjoyable. They're just more interesting characters. I mean, I think Paul Heyman said that in one of the recent documentaries. Like, you know, he's just like the heels are the interesting ones. The bad guys or the good guys are boring. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably have a bunch of favorites. Would you like to name some?
Yeah, I mean, well, like right now, I would say like definitely MJF. Um, WWE, it's amazing that to me Dominic Mysterio has become
He's
the
doing
best
good.
heel in the
Oh,
company.
he's doing good.
He gets so much fucking heat. It's insane, and I love it because like when he first started, it was like he just like a little kid, trying to wrestle, and now he's just coming to his own on prison Dom, the
Prison
teardrop and
Dom.
that fucking his WrestleMania entrance was so good.
Oh,
But
hell yeah.
so yeah, no, loving him. Matt Cardona, of course. But yeah, I mean, like going back, um, more old school, like JBL during
Oh yeah,
you know
good
early
old
2000s with the cowboy
like
hat.
the
If I'm not
cowboy
doing the
hat
cheap
in
stuff,
JBL was the fucking perfect heel.
or the limo with the
Yeah,
horns on it, and shit, I mean, just trying to get Eddie Guerrero
yeah.
deported, and
Um, Miz was a great
yeah,
heel.
Miz is good. Miz is a good heel. Him and John Morrison's tag team, that was really good.
Oh, I miss that. They're the greatest.
Oh yeah, they were a really good tag
Yeah.
team. They were in the bad WWE version of ECW.
Oh
Um,
God, it was so bad. I remember seeing Punk
uh,
fucking doing matches in that fucking program. Oh,
yeah, yeah, that thing. Let's see. There's some like older heels. I mean, like of course the Four Horsemen back in the day.
yeah.
Right there. It's funny though, because like I think like a lot of my favorite wrestlers though are faces. Like Mick Foley is probably one of my favorites of all time. Chris Jericho, but he goes back and forth. And Chris Jericho's a way better heel than he is face. Like
Mhm.
um, but yeah, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels, I like the way better as a heel too. Oh, Ted DiBiase,
Oh,
Million
oh
Dollar Man.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think the OG Ted TB and DiBiase is kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean, watching him give that kid $100 to dribble a basketball and then kicking the ball away before the last,
Yeah,
like,
I fucking can't believe that.
I can still watch that video and laugh my ass off, what I mean?
Um, what's I feel like I have like I feel another one that comes to me, heel, but like I don't know if he's ever gonna go out of the Indies is Charles Mason right now.
Yeah, he's good.
He's
Yeah,
just pretty creepy.
yeah,
He's done something I've never seen before.
yeah, I
It's
know. Yeah, the whole thing with Bussy's been pretty good.
oh yeah. Yeah, so like I don't know, I'm a huge fan of his heel work. Also Blake Christian is amazing.
Yeah, like
Dude.
that was definitely something that made him so much better.
Yeah.
Especially like when your nickname's All Heart, it's way better if you're a heel.
I
Because
I
it's such a cheesy ass baby face
yeah.
gimmick. I love that he
I'm,
kept the nickname though, still, even though he's a heel now. But yeah, he's
it's
been a
good.
lot better. Yeah.
Um, he's an ROH, and he was doing a lot of AEW matches, and now he's an ROH. And I see you're a ROH fan too. You went to the shows back in the day, also.
No, I never got to go to any of the original ROH shows. I was supposed to go to one where they came to Portland when I lived there, and I was going to go, and I didn't make it. But no, I never
Yeah,
got to go to any of those. Yeah, I mean, I've mostly always, besides growing up in Michigan, like
yeah,
for like 10 years, then I moved to Arizona, so I was always on the West Coast after that, and they never really made it out much there that way. But I wish I would have. I mean, I love old ROH
yeah.
stuff. I like the new one
Uh,
too. They're doing good with it.
Yeah, I hear that's good. That's really good. I mean, it's hard to carry on without Jay Briscoe, dude. It really is.
Yeah, that
Um,
was brutal. Yeah, love the Briscoes.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
think Jeff
me
down
too.
here mentioned Jake Roberts. Yes, Jake Roberts, fantastic, fantastic heel.
I love him too. He was actually, he was really misunderstood, and I liked to see his interviews about how he got better. And it's so good what fucking Diamond Dallas Page has done.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, I mean, like seeing what was the Beyond the Mat when he was like smoking crack and everything, and then I in that one indie show where he showed up all wasted, and I didn't really seem like there was like no coming back for him, and to see him just totally
yeah,
turn his life around is amazing.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. So with anything you've ever missed out on or whatever, did you ever actually collect any videos or, have any chances, like, if you wanted to watch something that you were like, sad you missed out on? Did you
Um,
ever keep anything?
I used to collect a lot of shit. I had like every WWF DVD from when they started putting out DVDs up to a
Hmm.
certain point. And then the WWE Network, when that started, whatever that was, 10 years ago, I liquidated all that stuff. I had a shit ton of old WCW VHS tapes. I didn't have a working VCR. But yeah, since they put the library all up and, digitally, I did get rid of all of that stuff. But,
Yeah.
and I used to, for a while, I was like taping shit too. So I had a bunch of VHS tapes of, 6-hour tapes full of just random shows and pay-per-views from. But yeah, I had boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff, but I did get rid of it all. I still have a giant yard-sized garbage bag and box full of figures, of wrestling figures. Not really old ones. I wish I still had my LJN big rubber 80s figures I had when I was a
Yeah.
kid. But the thing is when you played with those, all the paint came off of them.
Oh God.
That was a defect. I would try to repaint them though as a kid.
Yeah.
And like the Andre the Giant that had the big fro and the blue Speedos on, I repainted him to the black singlet when he turned heel on Hulk Hogan, because it just felt like the right thing to do. Um, but yeah, I don't have any of those anymore either. Um, but I still have like
Well,
X-Pac and Gangrel figures from the late
oh
90s, early
yeah.
2000s. So that's what's important in life, is to still have your Gangrel and X-Pac collection of figures.
I was a fan of both of those. I was a huge X-Pac fan. For I think like more than Triple H. I didn't like Triple H at all.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
no,
I'm
I
kind of
don't
like
know what.
ironically an X-Pac fan too, like
Hmm.
'cause he
Oh,
was
I love
just.
Sean Waltman. He's cool.
But yeah, I mean, I remember like making signs for like your ass is grass and I'm gonna smoke it, like he would say, and holding it up at Monday Night
Yeah.
Raw in 1999, and cheering on the X Factor faction, him, Albert, and Just Incredible. That was a great faction. Post
Oh
DX,
God. Don't even remind me of that fucking theme they had.
that theme song. Oh yeah,
Oh,
is it
it was
Uncle
so.
Cracker one?
We're not gonna go on forever about this, but we're gonna probably. I think there's gonna be like one day we're gonna actually have to have another episode where we actually have to talk. I have like to have a lot of wrestling talks on here. I was doing a little show with my buddy Kyle, but hopefully we can get back to doing that again. But I've been just too busy with Bone Crate and doing this podcast because right now this is the second last episode and whatnot. So let's, I guess, like leave on off with a bang. What do you think is doing better in wrestling, or do you think it's just wrestling? Just enjoy it.
What what do I enjoy
Yeah.
right now?
What do you think is better? Is like just like what company is better, or do you just have the mindset of like, oh, it's just wrestling, enjoy it.
I definitely like this. Yeah, I like as far as like everybody like fighting over what's better. Yeah, that's so dumb. Just enjoy it. I mean, like I don't know, I mean, like I don't really like pay much attention to any of the stuff online about wrestling. Um, I find I enjoy it more if I just watch it and don't read or see what other people are saying about shit.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, I mean, I have my like what I like the best and stuff. Yeah, I would say I probably enjoy like AEW and New Japan the most, and probably like GCW and ROH stuff. I started watching like Pro Wrestling Noah a little while ago.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
I subscribe to their streaming service. It's like $6.50 a month, and you get Pro Wrestling Noah, DDT, and Tokyo Joshi Pro shows. It's like a ton of content for $6.50 a month. So, and I wanted to get back into DDT because I used to have the streaming thing when they first started it a long time ago. Um, yeah, so I would say like those. I mean, I try to watch like everything that I can, which is way too much time, I'm sure. But like then to a lesser extent, like Impact, MLW,
Impact's doing
those are
good.
good. Yeah, I mean, Impact, like it should. It's a shame that like there aren't as many people watching it as there used to be,
Yeah.
because it is like it's pretty quality right now. I mean, like the matches are good. They've got a good roster. It's just I think like I don't. I think the whole Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff era kind of killed it. I think as far as like credibility goes with
Yeah.
hardcore fans.
Yeah.
There's a little bit before that, like during the peak time with like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and all that stuff. And then then they tried to get bigger and blew it. And like now that it's gotten small again, it's like gotten so much better. And I don't think they've really regained much of the following that they used to have. But I never quit watching it. So
I watch a lot
yeah,
of rewatches too.
yeah. I mean, I miss the six-sided ring though. I wish they still had that. Yeah.
Oh man, that was crazy. Well, I think I'm gonna just do a promo, and I'm gonna have to end it here. But honestly, I'm gonna do a promo about the compilation. It's the season has start and everything. I wanted to go all out on this one. Last year, we about had a lot of more people asking about if they could submit a track after it was done and stuff, because I was almost 40, and I feel like there was a lot more people who were interested into being a part of this. So definitely, yeah, nothing's off limits really. Any company can be talked about, and yeah, it's going to be a fun time. I'm really looking forward to a lot of your future releases. Where should we find you? And yeah.
Let's see. So, Imploding Sounds, my label, that's got a lot of I have band camps for Takeshita and for Tab and Tab Out, and a bunch of my other projects, but I try to keep those up to date with at least like links to everything that's on other labels so that it's kind of a one handy place.
Okay.
This new Tab and Tab Out album, I just got the CDs on Monday. It's called Harsh Noise Workout. It's 20 minute, 3 20-minute walls. I was rubbing steel wool on sheet metal with a bunch of various other stuff. That's what I'm going to be doing on the tour. I'm going to be touring at the end of the month for about a week. So if you're in Everett, Vancouver, BC, Seattle, Olympia, Portland, Sacramento, San Francisco, or Santa Clarita, come see me. Come say hi. Watch me rub some sheet metal, and we can talk about wrestling. And, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on the show, man. I'll hopefully to have you on again, and definitely can't wait to hear a lot more new wrestling related stuff, and maybe stuff for the comp.
I will definitely send you a track for the comp.
All right.
All right.
Y'all have a good day.
You too.